So Muslims kill Jews because they don't agree with them.
They say that the judgment day can't come until they kill all the Jews.
Why do Jews kill Muslims? Why do
Jews kill Muslims because Muslims kill Jews first.
I want to ask you about that verse you just pulled up about the prosecution and killing people on the spot that you just pulled up.
Which verse was it? About infidels? Let me read it. So it's Surah Muhammad, chapter 47, verse 4. So when you meet those who disbelieve, strike their necks until you've inflicted slaughter upon them. There's also a lot of other ones.
Okay, have you read the verses around that one?
I read the whole verse, yeah.
Have you read the whole verse?
Yeah, what about it?
So do you understand the historical context, what was happening at that time when this verse was revealed? Throughout his lifetime, the Quran was revealed at certain points, at certain events, after certain wars, after certain rebellions. The Quran was revealed. Each surah, each chapter was revealed because something had just happened. When that verse was revealed, the Jews had just betrayed the Muslims and killed some of them and betrayed their war treaty, and they were told to kill them when they found them, the ones who betrayed them for that treaty.
Right, but it doesn't say kill the people who betrayed the treaty. It says wherever you find a disbeliever, strike them at their neck and slaughter them.
Okay. That's why we have scholars.
Also,
that's why
not
we
in
have
response.
People who interpret history. That's why we
not
have
in
historians.
response to broken treaties. The hadiths also say, Sahih-rated hadiths say, the day of judgment will not come about until the Muslims fight the Jews, killing the Jews. When the Jews hide behind stones and trees, the stones and trees will say, "Oh Muslims, oh Abdullah, there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him." Which means the day of judgment cannot come about.
Do you know what a prophecy is?
It's not a prophecy. It's saying
How do you know it's not a
you
prophecy?
can't achieve the
How do
judgment
you
day
know
until
it's
you
not
fight
a
the Jews and
prophecy?
kill the Jews. I know it's not a prophecy because it's
Have
saying you must
studied with
do
Muslim
this
scholars?
before.
Have you studied with Islamic historians? Do you know why that verse was revealed and what that verse means?
The verse is saying that the judgment day cannot come about until the Jews are killed by the Muslims. And in fact, this exact hadith is cited in Article 7 of the Hamas Charter from 1988. It is their justification for fighting and killing Jews in Israel. Hamas is Islam. They're the Islamic resistance movement. That's what they're called. Okay, that's fine. And I appreciate you for not supporting Hamas.
Okay, so you don't support people who fight back against oppression?
I don't support people who kill people because they don't agree with them.
So Muslims kill Jews because they don't agree with them.
They say that the judgment day can't come until they kill all the Jews.
Why do Jews kill Muslims? Why do
Jews kill Muslims because Muslims kill Jews first.
Okay, do you know how far back the Palestinian war goes?
Sorry, I didn't catch.
Do you know? Okay, how far back has Palestinians been fighting with Jews? How old is the Palestinian and Jewish war? How old is that war?
Well, I wouldn't call it a Jewish and Palestinian war. I'd call it a Jewish and Arab war because Palestine has never existed. It started in 48.
So how old is Israel?
Israel, the modern state, was founded in 1948.
How old is Palestine?
0.
So what was the land before?
It's never existed.
So what was
the closest it's ever been to existing is 1994 when the Oslo Agreement was signed.
Wait. You were talking about...
What existed before was the British mandate, and prior to that, the Ottoman Empire.
You were talking about unicorns flying, and for some reason a land can just appear like that?
Wait. But you guys believe that?
That land that Palestinians live on, where was that before, and what was it called before Israel?
Before Israel, it was called the Ottoman Empire.
So it was called the Ottoman Empire until 1948?
It was the Ottoman Empire, then it was the British mandate.
So the people there who call themselves Palestinians, who have grandmothers and grandparents who go back hundreds of years, so why are they called Palestinians?
Well, they're only there because they conquered it, right? Arabs aren't from Palestine or Israel. They're from the Arabian Peninsula. It's in the name. And they spread outward. They conquered in the 7th century the entirety of the Middle East and North Africa.
The Ottoman Empire also conquered that area. Before that,
yeah, the Ottoman Turks who practiced Islam.
The Ottoman Empire is younger.
What religion did they practice?
The Ottoman Empire, Islam.
Okay.
The Ottoman Empire is younger than Palestine. Palestine dated way back. The Ottoman Empire was founded after the death of Prophet Muhammad.
Do you speak Arabic?
No.
Okay, you speak Arabic. Is there a P in the Arabic language? Is there a P sound in the Arabic language?
We say Palestine.
Yeah, you're right. Which is a newer invention. So let's look at the lineage. Let's look at the derivative of the word Palestine. No. Let's look at the derivative. Let's look at the derivative of the word Palestine. Okay. So do you know where the word comes from?
No.
So the Greeks called it Philistia. Okay. Why did they call it Philistia? I'm not finished. Just let me entertain me for a second. They called it Philistia. Because the Philistines, who were Aegean people, they were from Greek, came and they conquered a small portion of what at the time was Israel, between Tel Aviv and Gaza, modern day, right? So they settled this area, okay? They were the sworn enemies of the Jews. They were constantly in conflict. They were not Muslims. They were not Arabs. They were Greek Aegeans. They came from Crete, okay? So they settled there. The Romans then come. In 136 AD, there is the Bar Kokhba revolt, which is where Bar Kokhba revolts against the Roman Empire, who he feels is oppressing the Jews. They lose. The Romans sack Jerusalem, and they destroy the temple,
Yeah.
okay? We're on the same plane. So what does Hadrian, the Roman emperor, do? He renames the region Syria Palestina after the Assyrians, who were not Arabs, and the Philistines, who were not
that the
Arabs.
Ottoman Empire?
That name was carried
Was
on
that
then.
the Ottoman
So
Empire,
it
or
is
was that older than the
it is an
Ottoman Empire?
Palestine is an English adaptation of a Roman adaptation of a Greek adaptation of an ancient Hebrew word. It's not. It has nothing to do with
No,
Arabs.
the Jews, Hebrew was not. Do you know the real language that Jews spoke back then? Was it Hebrew? Hebrew was a very
they
young
were
language.
conquered a lot, so sometimes
they
it was
did
Hebrew.
not speak Hebrew.
At sometimes
They
it was
spoke
Hebrew, at
Aramaic.
sometimes it was Greek.
Our Aramaic
Not all
is
of them.
Arabic.
Wrong.
Aramaic comes from Arabic.
If you read
Arabic comes from
if you read the
Aramaic.
Hebrew Bible, let's talk about like the,
Do you
the
know how old
Philistines.
Hebrew
That's
is?
Hebrew. Yes, they spoke Aramaic later on,
Yeah.
but they were
Do you
speaking
know where
Hebrew, and many
Aramaic
of them
comes
kept
from?
speaking Hebrew.
Do you know where Aramaic comes from? Aramaic is derived from Arabic. Arabic is the oldest religion.
And where was Arabic invented?
Arabic is the oldest religion.
Where was Arabic invented?
You want me to?
In
bring
the
up
Arabian
a person
Peninsula,
that started-
hundreds of miles away from Israel. They conquered it.
So like language doesn't travel. I'm speaking English.
No, yeah, sure, it travels when you bring
Started in
armies and
England.
force everybody to
English-
convert. Yeah, it
English-
travels.
English doesn't start in America. I'm living in America, and English started in England.
The only reason Arabs exist in that portion of the world is because Muslims conquered it.
Okay, tell me about the Muslim conquering.
Yeah,
Tell
so
me-
in the
tell me-
7th
tell me what's
century,
wrong with that.
the Arab, well, what's wrong with it is, first of all, they conquered the entire Middle East and North Africa and forced everybody to convert. There's your first problem.
About natives.
Okay, well, why is that a problem? Tell me about that.
Well, do you not agree with colonialism?
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
Okay, so then you don't agree with what your people
No,
did.
no. There's a difference between conquering a place and colonializing a place. There's two different.
Okay, what's the difference? Generally, colonialism involves a mother state.
No, colonializing something is when you force your beliefs on the people.
Which is what
and-
Muslims did.
No. Okay,
Yeah,
tell
they
me.
forced them to convert.
Give me no wait. Please give me an example of how the Muslims did that.
Yeah, they held a sword to their throat and said, you must become a
Oh my
Muslim.
God, wait, I never heard
It says
that
this in the
before. Tell
Quran
me a story.
repeatedly.
I've never heard that
First, you
before.
offer somebody to become a Muslim, and if they refuse, you fight and kill them. It says this repeatedly in the Quran.
Oh my God, that sounds like war. That sounds like the laws of war.
In America.
Wait, this is exactly what you just described as colonialism.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it was the laws of war in most circumstances. I would argue that most of the
Give
time,
me a
I would
historical-
argue that most of the time, converts did not happen at threat of violence. However, they were, what's the word, dhimmis, right? And you had like the jizya, you had taxes that they had to pay, you had the Pact of Umar, and
You know
they
the
couldn't
taxes-
evangelize
the
under.
taxes,
One
the
second. They
jizya?
couldn't evangelize under Islam. They had to pay extra taxes or specific tax for not
They
being
weren't paying
Muslim.
extra taxes.
They couldn't show
Let me
crucifixes in
explain to you
public.
the jizya thing.
So that's
Okay,
the
do
Pact
you
of
know
Umar.
what-
That's how they
Do you
live.
know the concept of jizya?
That's exactly what
No,
happened.
can you explain to me the concept of jizya at that time?
It's a tax that's levied on disbelievers.
The people who were living in the Muslim conquered lands, they were not required to fight in war. They were not required to give their money to. They were not required for these things.
Right, they
But
were just held as dhimmis, second-class citizens, and forced to pay a tax.
Muslims were required to fight in war. They were required no matter what to defend their country. Non-Muslims were not. Instead of this, they were able to enjoy this protection that they got from the Muslims that were controlling their land.
Protection?
Yeah, protection.
We conquered you, and now we're forcing you to pay extra taxes, making you a dhimmi, a second-class citizen, but we're protecting you.
The Pact
They're
of Umar.
paying
This is
extra taxes for the protection that they're receiving because they're not being required to fight.
This is what the Christians had to agree to living under Islam.
Okay, if
we
they're
shall
not
not
being
build in our
required to fight,
cities
isn't that
or
a
in their
good thing?
vicinity any new monasteries, churches, covens, or monk cells. Or we can't repair them either, those who fall in ruins and situated Muslim quarters. We shall not manifest the Pact of Umar. Pact of Umar. This is a 6th century text. That was used in Islamic countries. This is what all the Christians
Repeat that text
throughout
again.
the
Repeat that text again.
We shall not build. This is the Christians
Yeah,
agreeing
go
to
ahead.
this. We shall not build in our cities or in their vicinity any new monasteries, churches, convents, or monk cells. Neither shall we repair any that fall in ruins
Okay.
or are
You know,
situated
here-
in Muslim quarters. We shall not manifest our religion
wait.
publicly nor invite anyone to it. That's against evangelism.
Here in East Plano, they're trying to build places for Muslims. They're not being allowed to. Isn't that the same thing?
Who's not being allowed to build mosques?
The governor of Texas is not allowing Muslims to build their own.
Can you give me a citation on that?
Wait, can you cite what you just
What was it?
The Pact of Umar. Dude, just Google it. Just Google it. All right. All right. We're not gonna talk to everybody all around. All right.
You already cited it.
Okay, I have a question about the Crusaders. So y'all are Christians, right? Yeah. So do you agree with everything that the Christians have done in history?
We don't agree with...
No. Do you agree with everything the Christians have done in history? Do you
I'm trying
agree
to
with the
answer.
Crusaders?
I'm trying to answer. We don't agree probably with everything that everyone calling them a Christian has ever done, right? Especially if they're not following Christianity, which has happened undoubtedly, right? The Crusades were largely defensive. Bean knows a little bit more about the Crusades than I.
Oh, tell me how they were defensive. They killed women and children. How was that defensive?
Muslims were invading Christian lands. Most of what's considered Muslim territory today was all majority Christian in the past.
Because Islam came after.
And they were in Spain. Why were Muslims ruling in Spain? That was always Christian land. Or not always, obviously, not always Christian land, but that was Christian land at the time, prior to the Muslims.